Hi everyone, it's Katie Crysdale here from Lakeview Aquatic Consultants. Welcome back to your weekly Aquatic Industry Insider. I'm in a different environment today. I am in Chester, England. I've been visiting with the company Ruth Lee UK. Some of you might be familiar with their pool rescue mannequin, and I was invited out here to do some interesting research with them on a cool project. So it's been a great visit, and so I'm obviously in a hotel room. I'm not in my normal recording environment. I'm also going to try and get this done before the light. It's a very gray February, very cloudy, and so I don't know how much light we're going to get here. But I did want to pop on and do a quick recording about the Atlantic Recreation Facilities Conference. And so that's the focus of this week's Aquatic Industry Insider. The conference is coming up in May of 2024 in Fredericton, New Brunswick. This is a biennial conference geared towards recreation and aquatic professionals in Atlantic or Maritime Canada. This is going to be people from all over New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, PEI. I'm really excited to be attending this conference as an attendee as well as a speaker. The reason I'm here today is I wanted to talk a little bit more about the session I'm going to be delivering, as well as the process by which I select speaking engagements. This is a common question that I get. Why don't you do more speaking engagements? How do you select your speaking engagements? How do you select the topics? And so I thought you might be interested to know about my session and the development I'll be doing for May, as well as how I consider future sessions. So we do have a speaker package posted on the Lakeview Aquatic Consultants website. It's pretty easy to find. That's public information. And so occasionally people do reach out to me to get more information about speaking engagements. It's usually only certain groups because I do charge for speaking engagements. And I know that's unpopular with a lot of different organizations. I respect a lot of nonprofit organizations, state or provincial athletic groups don't have the funding really to keep their events affordable by by compensating speakers. I know that's not something that everyone can do, but I have our speakers package. I have my speakers package posted on our website for full transparency. Anybody can find it. And the simple reason for charging is because I spend hours and hours and hours preparing the session to deliver it. I know a lot of people think that speakers just recycle and regurgitate the same topics ad nauseum at every conference, and there are certainly speakers who are requested to give the same sessions again and again, but that's not where I am at professionally as a speaker, as somebody who works in the aquatics industry. There is not a signature talk that I'm known for, and frankly, there's not a signature talk I'm interested in delivering repeatedly to different groups. For me, the value to people who would like to see the same session again and again is recording it and posting it on YouTube, if I can do that. So often a session that I develop for a conference or for a staff training event or for whatever it is completely custom to that event. That is not a scalable process. It takes anywhere from 10 to 25 hours at least of preparation and research. And so that's just the simple reason that I don't do a lot of speaking engagements. It's not that I'm unwilling to do that work. It's simply that people are looking for free speakers, which I am not, right? There's a speaking fee in addition to travel fees. And it's just the case that not everyone is also willing to engage with the different topics that I am interested in presenting. So for me, speaking is a two-way street. I provide a service that people are interested in booking, as well as the topic has to be interesting to me. So I'm not known for, extensive customer service. I'm not known for, leadership or aquatic management development. Those are not topics that I am particularly passionate about as a person. They are very valuable topics, and there are wonderful qualified speakers out there to work with you on those. Where my speaking engagements often come from is from current events, current trends, themes, or ideas that I'm seeing develop in our sector, whether that's through talking to different aquatic professionals, whether that's reading different news articles, noticing different trends. And so all of this is a long way of bringing you to the topic that I will be presenting in May 2024 in Fredericton. The session is entitled guarding our guards. This session, I'm really excited that the organizing committee for this particular conference is willing to engage with. It's not necessarily a positive session, but it is a session that we absolutely need in our industry because this is a growing problem that people are just not talking about. And so that problem is that lifeguards, aquatic staff, swim instructors are getting hurt on the job with increasing frequency and increasing severity. I'm not talking about slips, trips, and falls. I'm not talking about scratches, from kids that grab onto you during swimming lessons. I'm not talking about those little routine injuries that occur when you're working on your feet in a hot, wet, humid environment. I am talking about major safety issues that are resulting in significant injuries or significant workplace accidents where there is injuries, even fatalities, long-term care issues, both in Canada and the US. This is focused just on events in the last few years, and it's really something that we're not talking about in the industry, and I think we should be. So I've been developing this session for a number of weeks already. I provided the organizing committee with an outline, the cases that I'll be using. Some of them you'll be familiar with, places like Picture Butte, Alberta, Deming, New Mexico, Washington, D.C. I'm going to be drawing upon those as well as a few older ones like Saanich, BC, as well as some near misses and even one or two customer injuries that are easily documented customer injuries, but are situations or conditions that would also be easily applicable to a lifeguard. So that's going to be the focus of the session for May. I'm doing a lot of FOIP and FOIA privacy requests. Many of these are municipal or public organizations that are required to disclose what happened. Whether they do disclose, whether they stonewall, they refuse to provide the information, we will have to see. I've just started that process. I'm also collecting headlines and doing some research into old magazines and news sources. And then the session will follow a case study approach where we'll be looking at these individual occurrences, who, what, where, when, why, how, what were the circumstances of the incident, and then what are the takeaways. So this is not going to be a health and safety session focused on provincial legislation because this is a conference geared towards a variety of different provinces and professionals from different areas. This is going to be more corporately from a management perspective. What are the issues that we're seeing in terms of failure to do job hazard assessments, to stop unsafe work, to assess long-standing unsafe behaviors or workplace practices? And then how can we as aquatic or management or recreation professionals really go back to our workplaces and assess some broader policies, broader practices, and really implement change for our organization? So if you're interested in hearing me speak, it will be part of the Atlantic Recreation Facilities Conference, ARFC. You can go to arfc.ca and see the complete program schedule for the conference, which is occurring at the end of May in 2024. It's now open for registration. There is both a public registration fee for non-members as well as a member discounted fee, early bird, and regular registration. As with any conference, if you are interested in attending, I would also encourage you to put a hold on a room as part of the block because those do sell out at a lot of conferences. And so if you're able to join us, I think it's going to be a really great event. They didn't pay me to make this promotional video. I'm just really, really excited to be able to deliver a session that I think our industry really needs. I am going to be videotaping the session. I have hired a videographer, so fingers crossed if there's no technical issues or quality issues, I will be posting that on YouTube later in the summer. I don't have an exact timeline for when that would be, but that is also one of the reasons that we charge for speaking engagements is because we, quote, burn the topic after one use. It's not that I wouldn't present a topic again if requested, if something is very popular or very successful, but for me, it's very much one and done. I put my heart and soul into the development and planning of the session. It happens, it's as good as I can make it, and then we move on to another topic. So that's often where people will ask me, well, I haven't seen you present in a couple of years. are there other events that you're doing that are not well publicized? And that's simply not the case. I am only doing one speaking event a year, if that. Might be a couple years. I think it's been a couple years now since I've done a public speaking engagement. We'll often do private speaking engagements for staff in-service training or leadership development. But yes, it has been a while since I've done a public speaking engagement that anyone can register for. It is in person. There is not a virtual option, but that's where, as I've said, I have hired a videographer, and barring catastrophic failure of the event or the camera, I do have permission to retain a copy of that session and provide it to our audiences when I choose to do so. So thanks so much for listening to me talk a little bit about my session coming up in May. I'm really excited. I hope you'll be